The second question comes from at Ganji World. They ask, do you think Blake Wesley makes the roster? Okay, so this is an interesting question. I'm going to say yes. I do think Blake Wesley makes the roster still. Even though he's on a guaranteed contract for a few more years here. And let me just give you my reasons why I do think that he's in a safe zone where he's okay to still stay on the Spurs' roster. He's not like in a Lucas Samanic or Olivia Jean Charles situation from a few years ago. So for one, he's on a guaranteed contract, like I mentioned, and he's going to make $2.6 million this season. So even if the Spurs waived him, there's no reason to waive him. They still have to pay that salary. So again, there's no like financial benefit to waiving him now. They're still going to be on the hook for his salary. Then the interesting date to watch is Halloween, October 31st. Why is that an interesting day? Because that is when the Spurs, that's their final day to exercise his team option for next season when his contract goes up to $4.7 million next season. So again, if they exercise that team option, then he will be on the roster or getting paid to be on the roster next season at $4.7 million. If they don't, well, then this will be his final season, and then he'd be going into free agency next summer earlier than anticipated. But again, I think that it's just better to hold on to Wesley, even if he's not going to maybe crack the rotation and be one of the top 10 players on the team, because you still have those he's still a young player, and you can still look at trade opportunities either this season or if you exercise his team option, then even next season. So again, you want to try to get value for him if you are going to move on from him and not have him part of your future plans. You just don't want to waive him outright, and I think that it wouldn't be a good decision to just waive him outright because he's shown some upside, at least defensively. He's shown that he can be a really good on-ball defender, really energetic out there, setting the tone early on when he gets into the game. And so I think that there's still opportunity, whether it's with the Spurs for him or whether it's looking for trades down the road with him for maybe another team who wants to take a gamble on a young player. I think that he's just shown more upside than maybe players that the Spurs have waived in the past on guarantee deals, such as Lucas Samanic a few years ago and Olivia Jean Charles. Also, I mean, regarding his opportunity, I kind of understand where you're coming from with this question. It's because when you look at the rotation, it's really tough for Blake to get minutes. We don't think he's going to pass up Chris Paul in the starting lineup. We don't think he's going to pass up Trey Jones off the bench. So then it's that question of, does he carve out a role for himself amongst those second unit players, or does he just kind of just like wait until there's certain games when maybe Paul or Trey Jones is out for a game, a player from the rotation's out due to injury, and we do notice that at 39 years old, Chris Paul is most likely going to miss some games. I looked at his data, and over the last 3 years, he's only played 65 or fewer games in each of the last 3 seasons. So again, he's bound at 39 years old to miss a few games here or there, or even the Spurs just give him a rest night or two. So there's going to be opportunity for Blake to play. I think whether he's being as productive as he can when he gets into the games and making an impression on Pop, or like you said, whenever a player rests in the guard wing rotation, there could be minutes for him. So again, I think overall it is best for the Spurs to hold on to Blake Wesley and not waive him outright. I think even if they don't have him and their plans for the future, I think it's still a good decision to try to at least seek out trades, whether it's for this season or next season.